were so tense in getting all this built up. As you noticed, we started organizing this like 2.5 months ago, and suddenly it's taking place, so we have to settle down for this event. What I would like first to welcome everyone who came from Israel or from abroad. You really chose a good and interesting time to come. I hope you'll find plans to go back. I will say two things. First of all, we decided this will focus on Jewish medicine during the Holocaust, and we have decided to refocus not all our medicine and Holocaust work on Jewish medicine during the Holocaust. Turns out it was no problem to fill a program. A lot of good people came with good suggestions, good proposals. This is a chapter in Jewish history, it's a chapter in Holocaust history, it's a chapter in the history of World War II, it's a chapter in the history of medicine. It's really an important thing. And one more thing I'll say, some of you were with us in 2017 when we did the world's biggest conference of medicine and Holocaust with 90 speakers here. Actually, this is not what we do. What we do are small conferences, no multiple panels, everyone hears everyone. So this actually regulated the number of people here. What we really cherish about academia is the ability to speak and to hear and to discuss, something that is a bit lacking in today's world, even in some academias. So it is important for us to be here, to hear one another. It is true that we started late and now we start pushing the envelope and the discussions will get cut down, but we are here. We can speak after a lecture, we can speak on the bus to get to fighters, we can speak on the bus back, we can speak in the hotel.
We have arrived in Israel in the most politically and socially challenged period that we have seen here for many years. In Israel, demonstrations are allowed, thanks God, and the Israelis, as you can see, know how to demonstrate. But there is a feeling that what is happening here is part of a worldwide trend. I begin with a prayer for tolerance and patience, for freedom and democracy, for listening and mutual respect, even when there are many different opinions and disagreements that is the basis of a good democracy. Freedom has a central place in the Jewish Passover holiday next week. In the spirit of freedom, I welcome this group of high-quality researchers who invest day and night in advancing Holocaust research, particularly medicine, during the Holocaust. Welcome to Israel and welcome to Western Galilee College. Welcome. I'm so happy that we have succeeded in organizing the third international conference on the study of Jewish medicine during the Holocaust, led by the Holocaust Studies program at Western Galilee College. We held the first international gathering at the college in 2015 as a 2-day research workshop. The second event was a large international conference in 2017. Its many outcomes include a research book, 2 journal issues dedicated to the subject, and the commitment to publish another book. Maybe with all these lectures, it will be much more and better than it could be if we published it till yet. Another outcome of the 2017 conference was the Galilee Declaration calling for all faculties of medicine to include in the world, to include the teaching of the history of medicine during the Holocaust as part of their curriculum. This led the editor of the Lancet Journal, encouraged by Bill Zeidelman, to establish a special Lancet commission to write a report on the history of medicine during the Holocaust, based on the material that the people here, like Paul Vandeling and Acherim and others, did for us along years, all the years. There is still a long way to go to complete all the research needed in the field of medicine and the Holocaust. This field represents the terrible failure of thousands of the most talented scientists and academics who were happy to collaborate and advance the Nazi Party's racist, anti-Semitic, and nationalistic ideas. Ideas that fit in very well with the eugenics perceptions and bioracial fantasies to create a world that lack mercy and compassion, ruled by the strong and the healthy. Even if those who think that without the physicians and scientists the Holocaust would not have been happened, even they are mistaken, no one argues with the fact that members of the most noble profession dedicated to saving lives declined morally in their thousands until some became healer-turned-killers. I believe that the discussion of this field leads us to all the basic issues of Holocaust research in the clearest and most prominent way. At this conference, we are focusing not only on the professional and human failure, but also on those who stay true to principles of the medical profession. First of all, the efforts to save lives at all costs, even through personal risk and self-sacrifice. We are focusing mainly on the activity of the Jewish medical staff in the different areas of operation under the Nazi regime and on the aspects of the German sales policy towards the Jews during the period. This historical division is clearly not black and white between the thousands of physicians and research institutions that collaborated with the Nazi regime and the thousands of Jewish physicians and victims in the different countries. On both sides, there were exceptions, but from a broad perspective, different and even opposite value system can be identified between physicians who adopted racial, anti-Semitic, and nationalistic theory, using it to interpret eugenics perceptions, and those who stayed loyal to moral perceptions and the modern equal and human culture. Perceptions that promote friendship between nations and equal opportunities, and of course aim to try at least to provide medical services to all people, whoever they are, even in the face of limitations. Without the study of the broad historical context, we cannot understand the complexity and the elements that influence the historical picture that emerged from the study of medicine during the Holocaust, and we will not be able to understand its significance for the present and the future. It is for this reason that we are happy to launch this evening the annual Professor Shaul Shasha Grant to advance research, documentation, and memorialization of Jewish medicine during the Holocaust. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank all the representatives of the Shasha family for honoring us with their presence this evening and for their generous decision to donate this important annual grant. We will return to this subject later. On the 80th anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, I will conclude by saying that the time has come to recognize not only the heroic activity of the fighter organizations, but also the activity of the Jewish medical staff during the uprising. Many of them took part in building the bunkers and hid there together with the hundreds of patients while providing medical services, including some surgery. Some even took up weapons and joined the armed struggle. Many members of the medical staff, including directors of hospitals in the ghetto, chose to refuse the offers of rescue by colleagues and patients on the Aryan side and stayed to serve their patients and to take part in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. Many of them died in the bunkers or the camps, but the few who survived left inspiring testimonies of what happened to them during the uprising. This being the case, then please add to the collective memory the activity of the medical staff and their contribution to the Warsaw Ghetto uprising. Thank you very much.